Louisiana's got to find a way to get stops without him.
Yeah, definitely so. It's nice when you have a rim protector like Akuba. That means every guy individually has to do a better job keeping their man in front of them and out of the paint.
Without Akuba, the Mavericks shot 56% from the floor on Thursday, scored 48 points in the paint, and were plus 11 on the boards. This is Duguay. Good look inside, but comes up empty. And today the Cajuns looking to bounce back and to win their third straight game in this building in San Marcos. Of course, they swept the 2 games here a year ago. As for the Bobcats, coming off that win over ULM on Thursday, Suzanne, their first win since December the 18th.
Yeah, I think they were just glad to get back on the court, not be in practice, and actually get to play a different opponent.
Shot clocked out of 5. Mason Harrell's in trouble here. Ball knocked away by Julian. And taken away, early turnover. Texas State on the Bobcats' first possession of the game. Crashing inside is Jordan Brown. Good basket there for Louisiana. First year Raging Cajun with the basket. You go back to Thursday for Texas State. Took advantage of an undermanned ULM team. Scored 51 in the first half. Never trailed. They trail early here, a little more than a minute in.
Yeah, again, different type of opponent. You know, Louisiana has a lot of length on the floor, and that's going to cause Texas State, as you see, is really struggling on the offensive end early here to get some looks at the bucket. And, of course, as soon as I say that, Shelby Adams rises up and hits a little 5-foot jumper.
And with the shot clock winding down, able to hit the basket, ties us at 2. So today, Texas State looking to sweep this 2-game homestand and to get avenge a pair of losses at home to Louisiana from a year ago. Backdoor pass goes off the hands of Trajan Wesley. Bobcats out numbers. Isaiah Small misses the layup. And Louisiana dodges a bullet there. 4-on-2. Texas State didn't score.
Yeah, just rocked it off the rim there. You know, Texas State has got to be able to finish plays at the rim. Both teams do. I mean, both these programs are well-established championship caliber programs in the Sun Belt, and they can't miss those type of opportunities.
Shot clock down to 10. Brown. Good spin move. Goes off the glass again. Didn't have a very good game Thursday against UTA. Held to 9 points. Bob Marlin challenging him to play better today. This is a good start.
Yeah, again, I looked back when I saw he only had 9 points up there at UTA. He's only had one other game this year, not in double digits. And again, I think so Brown goes, so go the Cajuns.
Harrell on the pull-up. And a chance for a 3-point play. Big hit there for Mason Harrell. Contested shot right down the chute. It will play for the Bobcats' first lead of the day. If you recall, in this matchup a year ago, Harrell had a career night in what was a stunning loss at the end. More on that later. Scored 27 against the Cajuns a year ago.
Yeah, Mason Harrell, selected first team All-League last year. He has been in form this year so far. Again, does so much for this Bobcat team. He is their quarterback, the heart and soul of this program.
Talked to Bob Marlin about Mason Harrell and a lot of respect for Texas State's point guard. See his output against the Cajuns a year ago. 3 minutes gone by. Brown going to work again, but it pops out.
Yeah, Nate Martin will have his hands full tonight, and along with, I'm sure, Nigel Caesar and several of the interior bigs of Texas State trying to slow down Brown.
Asbury the miss. And then a foul. And this is called against Louisiana. Now, you mentioned Jordan Brown. Big body, 6'11", 225. If you recall, Suzanne, a couple of games this year, the Bobcats have had trouble guarding opposing big men, specifically against Houston and Troy.
Yeah, they have. And again, this is going to be a real test to sort of see how far along Texas State has come on the defensive end, particularly in the bigs. Can they slow him down?
Harrell off the screen, cans of 3, then a quick whistle. Veteran coach, 12th season at Louisiana, was not in this building for the 2 games last year. Told us very hard to just watch that from home, but had to be happy with the results. The Cajuns went 2-0. 7-4 Texas State. Jordan Brown, heavy dose of him. Out of the double team. Greg Williams Jr. the miss. Duguay the putback. And a chance to tie the game for Duguay, the senior out of Senegal, starting today. 6'9", 220, starting in the place of Theo Akuba. Has the size, Suzanne, but is not quite the interior presence Akuba has been for the Cajuns.
Yeah, and again, just that 2 inches that you see the difference in their height and their wingspan. it's a separator. Duguay does a great job in there, but Theo Kuba, he's an elite rim protector, and they definitely missed that. I know at UTA, and again, they've got to make up and find some ways to slow down the Bobcats tonight without him.
Duguay went to high school in Japan, played his first year of college basketball in Japan, so he's fluent in Japanese, English, Spanish, French, and Wolof, the official language of Senegal. Harrell off the pump fake. Contacts! And wave off the shot. Offensive foul is the call against Texas State. Well, look at this again. And they're going to say it was the leg kick there from Harrell at the end in the trip. And with that, we have a timeout on the floor. 4 minutes gone by from St. Marcus, a touchdown each for the Bobcats and the Cajuns. Back out in San Marcos, time early at 7. Suzanne, looking at these two teams, what do you see the keys being for both the Cajuns and the Bobcats?
Well, when talking to Coach Marlin for the Raging Cajuns, is they had to play better team defense today against Texas State. They've done that enough already. They need to win that transition game, and they need to control the backboards offensively and defensively against Texas State. On the flip side, Texas State is usually there. They need to get some defensive turnovers. They've got to get transition, get back and match up with these Cajuns. Everybody, all 5 guys have got to rebound. And lastly, Texas State has got to take care of the basketball. They can't have unnecessary turnovers tonight.
That's back-to-back turnovers. They're the turnover on Adams, the possession prior. Offensive foul called on Mason Harrell, erasing a 3-point shot. So 4.5 gone by. We are tied at 7. These two meeting for the first time this year. They'll meet once more in Lafayette next month. Duguay got blocked by Asbury. But the ball hit the bottom of the backboard and stays with the Cajuns. Texas State, all of a sudden, they become the kings of the Sun Belt Conference in block shots.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that in San Marcos in a long time. Nigel Caesar has been really good at blocking shots. He has great timing on his jumps. And you see there Asbury doing the same thing.
Off the miss by Jordan Brown. Adams the rebound for Texas State. Still tied at 7. Here's Harrell going to work. And now Small on the top. Won't get the roll. And the Cajuns have the rebound. Again, they won their 2 games in San Marcos last year. While the Bobcats are looking for a homestand sweep. Offensive foul going the other way. This is called against Trajan Wesley, a native from Texas, from Navasota, as Louisiana commits its 3rd turnover of the afternoon.
Yeah, really nice job by Isaiah Small rotating across, getting outside the restricted circle and taking the charge because they had gotten beat on the drive. Mason Harrell got held up in the screen and wasn't able to get around and back in front. And again, nice team defense by the Bobcats. I
mentioned Trajan Wesley from Navasota, went to Cy Falls High School 3 years ago, helped lead Cy Falls to the 6A championship at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, not far from here. And the victory that day came on the 10-year anniversary of his mom, Monica's, passing from cancer in 2007. Very special moment for Trajan then. Shot clock under 10. Caesar, Harrell. The drive, the pull-up got blocked. What a play there by Dury Cadwell. And a shot clock violation. Cajuns get it back, and now the 2 defenses stepping up, Suzanne.
Yeah, that was excellent defense by the Raging Cajuns. Really good job. They went and doubled down on the post when Caesar got the ball on the block. You thought that Harrell was going to get a clean look there on a 15-foot jumper, but a nice block by Cadwell.
Numbers are now identical. Points in the scoreboard, shooting, each team 3 of 8. Each team now 3 turnovers.
And again, both teams have gone a little bit to their benches early here. You see Drew Drennan coming in for Texas State, coming in for Louisiana. Some new point guard play.
Jordan Brown draws Caesar up into the air, and a foul called against Texas State senior out of Houston. And at the free throw line is Jordan Brown for head coach Bob Marlin. Again in season number 12 in Louisiana. 4 years ago, named as the Sun Belt Conference Coach of the Year, guiding the Cajuns then to a 27-7 finish. As Brown is short on the first free throw.
Yeah, Coach Marlin has been around for a long time. When I was coaching in the Southland Conference in the women, he was then at Sam Houston State. And, man, he does a fabulous job with his program. And he's really elevated the Raging Cajuns. And, again, his goal is to get to the NCAA tournament this year.
1 of 2 for Brown. And Jordan Brown now with 5 with the Cajuns, 8 points. 6 minutes gone by. Louisiana on top early, trying to salvage a game on their Texas road trip. Drennan on the pick and roll, throws it away. Good job by Brown, forcing the turnover.
Yeah, Louisiana's length is, again, causing some issues for Texas State in the half court. They're deflecting some things and taking away some passing lanes.
Duguay trying to go behind the back, throws that off the bottom of the rim. Louisiana gets it back. Gay on the turnaround almost got that to drop. Wild sequence there for Duguay, but no points for Louisiana. Asbury lost it. And now a battle for the basketball near the Cajun bench.
I think they're going to get the jump ball before the timeout. Coach Martin was trying to get a timeout real quick to have the basketball, and I think the official was ruling it was a tie ball first.
And the possession goes back to Texas State on the alternating arrow. Bobcats in a scoring slump right now. They haven't scored in almost 3.5 minutes during that stretch. 4 turnovers as Tyrone Morgan checks into the game.
Yeah, and I think you have to credit the Raging Cajun defense. I know Coach Marlin's message before the game, because of what happened at UTA, was we've got to get down and guard. And they definitely have got their hands onto balls of the Bobcats and caused some turnovers.
Joe Charles in for Louisiana as Duguay sits down. Again, Cajuns without Theo Akuba again today. Big part of the lineup not there. Off the leg of Asbury. Right back to Louisiana.
Yeah, Coach TJ has got to be a little bit frustrated with his fellas. You know, those are some of the unnecessary turnovers he talked about that they had to limit to stay in this game with Louisiana. 6
turnovers already for Texas State. Charles, he lost it. And back to the Bobcats. Terrence Johnson, in his 2nd season as Bobcat head coach, became the full-time head coach over the offseason. Look at a year ago as the interim head coach, led the Bobcats to a regular season championship in the Sun Belt. First ever since joining the league. Texas State's first conference title in the regular season since 1999. You look at the Bobcats scoring drought, closing in on 4 minutes. Asbury ends it on a 3 and puts Texas State on top by 2.
Great execution by the Bobcats. Really good, clean movement. Got Asbury coming off of a screen, and he just elevated up and just nothing but net.
Brain Ayu has missed a lot of the season, recently returning. And he is harassed, and Drennan takes the ball away, forces a tie-up. And the ball will stay with the Cajuns with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Both teams, good ball pressure early on in the game.
Really good ball pressure. You know, we were just complimenting the Raging Cajuns and how they had picked the pocket of the Bobcats and were really causing some havoc on the defensive end. Now the tables have turned on this end. Texas State has picked up the defensive intensity, got the trap, and got the tie ball.
Cadwell gets it into Ayu. Shot clock down to 5. Ayu shovels it back to Brown. The turnaround, no. Caesar can't corral the rebound, but Morgan can. Cajuns, no buckets of their own over the past 4 minutes. Inside Caesar, shovels it to Morgan off the glass. Pretty play. Texas State on top by 4.
Unbelievable interior passing by the Bobcats. Caesar really has a great touch. We've seen that from Isaiah Small, but Caesar's really grown in that area of his game this year.
Cadwell throws it away. Morgan lets his teammates arrive into the front court. Bobcats on a mini 5-0 run. Low-scoring game so far between 2 of the premier programs in the Sun Belt, each with a regular season championship over the past 4 years. Asbury from the top trying to throw it back into Caesar, saves it. Morgan a 3, knocks it down. Tyrone Morgan, big minutes off the bench here in the first half.
Really great job by Morgan. He recognized on the break earlier he didn't have numbers, pulled it back out, used some IQ there, and they ended up on the end, got the nice three.
Just a third three for him this season. Answer three, Cadwell, no. Rebound, put back, Jordan Brown, yes.
Jordan Brown is a specimen, man. He has length. He can finish at the rim. He has the whole package on the offensive end. And, that's just one aspect you saw there with that nice tip in.
Drennan on the baseline. After that, of course, the Bobcats went on to win the Sun Belt's regular season championship. Texas State only lost 3 conference games last year, all to Louisiana. Inside Brown, ball knocked away by Asbury, coming on the hard trap. Double team help there. Cajuns commit their 7th turnover.
And again, really, you can see both teams are playing with a lot of energy, taking their time on the defensive end. Great shot there by Morgan, just went in and out, but both teams have locked in on the defensive end, so this is going to be a struggle for both teams the rest of the way.
AU shovels it inside. Good footwork there by Charles. Good recovery by Asbury. Another defensive play around the basket by Caleb Asbury.
Yeah, Asbury is really, I think he's known as a three-point shooter or a scorer in the league, but he has done a great job on the glass and passing the ball. His assist has gone up, just really developed his entire game this year.
Foul here against Louisiana, and for the Cajuns, that is their 5th. This one called against Jalen Dalcourt, and that will bring Mason Harrell and Shelby Adams back into the game, along with Dylan Dawson.
I just think back to a couple games ago when the Bobcats were playing the Troy Trojans. Coach Johnson didn't have that luxury of bringing in sets of guards. Again, they had 5 players out on that loss, and the Trojans definitely took advantage of it.
Meanwhile, Jordan Brown on the bench for Louisiana, marked it down out of the 9:53 mark with the Cajuns down 5. How long can he stay on the bench? Dawson, the pull-up, way off. Well defended there by Louisiana, and the ball will stay with Texas State with only 2 to shoot.
Yeah, tough shot there by Dylan Dawson. I think he sort of forced the issue a little bit. Really a contested shot by the Cajuns. And again, 2 seconds left. They've got to do a short second inbounds.
Harrell. Into Adams, catch and shoot jumper. Air ball. Cajuns on the run out. This team loves to run up tempo. Julian charging inside. Basket counts and a foul. For Kobe Julian, redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a 4th-year freshman, mind you. Julian received a medical redshirt his first season because of a knee injury, medical hardship year 2, tore his other ACL. Last year was a COVID year, so he was, of course, awarded an additional year, 4th-year redshirt freshman. We talk about the tempo for the Cajuns, and there you see it.
Yeah, and they want to get up and down, and that's why one of the keys tonight for Texas State was to get back in transition and match up. Louisiana wants to get up and down, make it a 94-foot game, and Texas State has got to get back and limit those easy buckets like we saw there with Julian getting to the rim.
I mentioned everything that Julian has been through. Also, again, in high school suffered a knee injury that kept him from playing his senior year. Had tonsillitis earlier this season. He's been through so much, battling through it and scoring again on a tear as of late. 2 big buckets there, and we are tied at 15.
And this is the transition game that Coach Marlin indicated they needed to win the transition game. On the flip side, the Bobcats have got to get Louisiana in the half court.
Bobcats trying to answer. 7-0 run for the Cajuns over the past 2 minutes. Tied at 15. Harrell got trapped, works out of it. Shot clock to 5. Morgan, a jump pass to Adams, a fadeaway. No. Good defense, Kobe Julian. And the Cajuns play for the lead now.
Yeah, the Raging Cajuns did a great job on that defensive possession with communication and getting rotations. Now Texas State's going to get an opportunity for a fast break layup.
Harrell got fouled by Brayan Ayu. Ayu, another player who's had a history of injury. You look at this Cajun roster up and down. Almost every single player's had something come up physically. Ayu is having a great season a year ago, suffered a knee injury late in the year, did not finish the season, and only came back recently. This is just his 5th game of the year here today, and is on a minutes restriction because of the severity of the knee injury he suffered a year ago.
And he's a big guard, especially playing at the point position, as opposed to you look at Mason Harrell for the Bobcats, 5'9". He adds some size. He's going to add length on the defensive end, and so he just causes some problems for Texas State.
Good half so far for Harrell. He has 6 as you look at AU from Nuevo Casas Grandes, Mexico. Some international flavor on this Cajun team. Of course, Duguay from Senegal. Bobcats in the Cajun run. Seesaw back in front. This game is tight. It kind of has the feel of one coming down to the final possession again. Julian got blocks by Martin, but drew a blocking foul first against Tyrell Morgan.
Yeah, I believe Tyrell was inside that restricted area and didn't quite get over there in front before they left the ground. Yeah, Julian did a nice job again. He just didn't. Julian took off and Texas State couldn't get over there in time.
Coming off a 20-point game at UTA on Thursday, Julian's been very good in conference play. Talked about games down to the wire. He hit the game-winning 3 against Coastal Carolina with 5 seconds to go to wrap up their Carolina road trip. And see what he's done over the past 3. Has really turned things on for the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, he's has a scorer mentality. He hunts shots, and he's going to find different ways he's able to score from a variety of ways, and they rely on him to give him some points, especially with Akuba being out on the defensive end.
But there misses both free throws. Julian, a 60% free throw shooter, goes 0 for 2. 12 minutes gone by, 2-point Texas State lead. Harrell into Martin. Julian, good defense, but Asbury left open and hits a 3.
Really good ball movement by the Bobcats. Good recognition by Nate Martin when he sort of got stuck under the bucket to see his teammate Asbury, who gets a great-looking 3.
Asbury coming off his 2nd career double-double from the other night. Only other one came in last year's Sun Belt tournament against Appalachian State. Foul against the Bobcats brings us to a pause in the action. So far, 4 ties, 3 lead changes, back and forth here in San Marcos. In this Sun Belt Conference matchup, Cajuns and Bobcats on right to go until halftime.
Grant, when I was getting ready for this game, I looked at the 4 games last year, and as you mentioned, the ties and lead changes. All 3 of those games had over 10 ties or lead changes in them, and they were very close ball games except for one of them. But we expect a barn burner tonight. Big 3 right there.
Yeah, Bray and AU, a little step back action there in the 3. Cajuns first made 3 of the game. AU cuts the lead down to 2. 7 minutes to go. Shelby Adams picked up by Brown on the switch. Now Harrell trying to post up Martin. A lot of switching defense here from Louisiana. Martin trying to take advantage of the smaller defender, but can't.
And again, Texas State's got to be able to do that. Again, you look at the Raging Cajuns, they have 5 big guys out there who can switch defensively. Oh, big 3-pointer right there.
Kentrell Garnett, freshman from Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Well, what a great surprise he has been this season, and he has been a dead-on 3-point shooter, shooting almost 50% from beyond the arc this year.
Yeah, and again, Coach Marlin credited him this past summer. He got to work in the gym, really got after it, and again, he's getting minutes, and he's doing a great job shooting the rock.
Offensive foul, Texas State. Bobcats with their 8th turnover of the game. And now the Cajuns have the ball and the lead. Talked about Garnett, player that walked onto the program last year, earlier this week, awarded with a scholarship. Got more on that story coming up. Cajuns on top by 1. Here is Garnett. Now to Brown, back into the game. Julian spots and misses a 3. Brown right there for the putback. Cajuns in the middle of an 8-0 run.
Yeah, again, the Raging Cajuns want to push the ball in transition, make it an up-and-down game, and they want to own the glass. And you can see there, they got an easy putback by Brown, and Texas State has got to do a better job of blocking out.
Here's Adams. Small. That 3-pointer ties the game. First basket today for Isaiah Small. 23-23.
And again, another tie, Brent. You know, I think, again, for basketball fans, this is going to be a great one to watch all night long because these two are going to try to separate, but I think both of them are playing well enough defensively. We're going to see a tie ball game.
Turnover on Louisiana. And I'll tell you, the expectation has been set today for good games in the Sun Belt. Only 2 other games today, and they have both gone final. Both games went into overtime. Correction, there are 3 other games, but the 2 that have gone final went to overtime. App State, a winner over Coastal, and undermanned ULM going to Arlington and knocking off the Mavericks. Asbury catches, shoot 3, no. Rebound Garnett for the Cajuns.
Yeah, that was a long, tough 3 for Asbury to take. He had to get his feet set, but he was falling away. And, man, Julian is on fire right now. I mean, a great another 3 has been the top 3-point shooter in this program, and so he's definitely earned that ride. And I think Coach Mon was super excited to be able to have that, celebrate that with him and the guys.
Here is Harrell. Floater got deflected. Ball saved by Adams. Now Small spots and off with a 3. Around the rebound for the Cajuns. Gay trying to take Small off the dribble. Backs him down, fades, and offensive foul to Gay. And he does not like the call.
No, he does not like the call. I think he must have pushed off or extended that arm, left arm, into Isaiah Small that drew the foul. We couldn't see from this angle, but that would be my guess at it.
2 teams, 19 turnovers in this first half. And a number of them have been offensive fouls. Yeah,
they have. Again, both teams are really getting down and guarding. And again, a little hand check out front by Garnett. And it's going to put a 1-and-1 and get Mason Harrell to 3-point line.
18 foul, Bobcats in the 1-and-1. Duguay getting further explanation on his last offensive foul and comes off. Very frustrated. 2 personals in the game now for Duguay. So Gay in somewhat a little bit of foul trouble here. No Theo Akuba. Not a lot of rim protection currently for Louisiana.
Yeah, and again, you want to keep your experienced guys out there like Gay, and again, with a short rotation in the interior, it puts a little pressure on some other folks to step up.
2 free throw misses in the game now for Mason Harrell, a player who shoots close to 90%. As the Bobcats are called for the foul here, and that will put Louisiana at the free throw line.
Yeah, we got this last 4 minutes of the first half, and both teams are going to have to be cleaner on defense. They have to be able to guard without fouling. If not, you're going to put folks on the line.
Greg Williams Jr. will go to the line here. Junior out of Lafayette, transferring in from St. John's. He misses the front end, but Jordan Brown the rebound. Put back won't go, and the rebound out of Isaiah Small for Texas State.
Man, battling at the boards, both these teams, that last possession, that's a man's area down there. You don't get in there and just mess around. You've got to be able to pull rebounds.
Drennan fakes a 3, the drive, the floater way off. Small the rebound. Shot clock down to 10. Harrell off the screen. Shot clock to 3. Martin recognizes, can't finish. Rebound Small, he can't finish. Another offensive rebound. Martin battling. And the Bobcats led by Mason Harrell 7. And Jordan Brown has 9 to pace the Cajuns.
Yeah, again, you're looking at 2 teams that have really got out on the defensive end this first half. 25 and 26 points isn't typical. You look at Texas State on Thursday, scored 51 in the first half. They're not going to have near that type of numbers tonight.
Williams inside to Brown. Good pump fake. Blocked from behind by Small. Got it back. Can't get the roll. Rebound Julian. His shot blocked. Saves the loose ball. Julian gets it back and hits. NBA range 3. Kobe Julian. Big first half for him. He has 11. 4-point Cajun lead.
Man, it is a dogfight under the boards on both ends of the floor. You've got to go in there and be strong.
Harrell against Garnett. Got trapped by Brown. Garnett, good defense here. Ball movement not existent for the Bobcats in this possession.
Yeah, the ball's sticking too much in guys' hands. They've got to get the ball moving side to side and make the Cajuns work. So there, Chris Chumley told us that they went with the call on the floor, that it was too close to tell on the video.
Yep.
Man, Brant, you were right on.
As always.
I know.
Brain AU at the point for Louisiana. Had a big three of his own earlier in the half. Here drives inside, a wild shot. Garnett trying to save it, but the ball went out of bounds first. Cajuns commit their 11th turnover. See a lot of coaching from Texas State's bench.
Yeah. AU just sort of got his head down, got his vision down on that drive, and ended up taking a poor shot.
Shelby Adams takes Williams Jr. off the dribble, off the miss, and the loose ball batted around, and Garnett's got it. But then he traveled.
Yeah, it was a really tough situation for Garnett. I mean, he had Mason Harrell in front of him. If he doesn't sort of go over the top, he's going to charge into him, and so he was in a bad situation the whole thing.
The amount of field goals made in this half matches the amount of turnovers committed, 20 each. Low-scoring game. It's been tight. 5 ties, 4 lead changes, 1-point game, 90 seconds to go.
It sounds like a Bobcat Raging Cajun game to me.
Harrell. Now to Drennan. Bobcats have a pair of point guards out there right now. Drennan into Small. Small to the basket, lays it in.
Really good timing there by Isaiah Small off the feed from Drennan. He felt the pressure behind him of Garnett. Did a little shot fake and was able to get that in the bucket.
Julian hits again. Kobe Julian, 14 points in the first half.
And those are not toeing the line threes that Julian is hitting. He is well beyond the three-point line and is just stroking it.
Back and forth we go. Under a minute left until halftime. Harrell on the dribble. Goes behind his back to Martin, trying to back down Brown. Shot clock under 10. Harrell trying to shake Garnett. Spins, floats it up. In and out and right back in. Ties the game at 32.
Man, that is a tough shot by Mason Harrell. Not only the spin, but with the left hand, high looping shot. I mean, on a scale, that's a 10 right there, Brant.
And folks, Mason Harrell is a righty. That was his offhand.
Big time shot.
Cajuns playing for the final shot. Williams Jr. to AU. A corner three. No. Julian flying for the rebound, can't get it. And they
of games to be declared the champion. And, you know, it is just not the world we live in, unfortunately, right now.
So, second half underway. Tied at 32. 6 ties, 6 lead changes in the first half between Texas State and Louisiana. Here's Shelby Adams in the Bobcats' first possession. Almost a turnover. Saved by Asbury. Alley-oop. Small misses the flush. And Louisiana gets it back. In transition, Jordan Brown has it slapped away by Asbury.
And again, both the Raging Cajuns really get out and run, especially Brown, and so does Duguay. I mean, those guys get up and down the floor, and you've got to run back on defense.
Texas State 2 empty possessions so far to start the half. Here is Duguay. Backdoor pass to Julian. Bobcats get another strip, this time from Shelby Adams. Asbury fakes a three. Floater instead, rolls off.
Yeah, both teams are coming out a little cold. I think that has to do with the defense on both ends is really good. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Both teams are really getting down and guarding.
Duguay backing down Small. Out to Julian. Not much hesitation on his shots today. That one a miss. A rare miss for Julian. Now Jordan Brown spins left, back to his right, and finishes.
And again, Nate Martin has his work cut out for him for Texas State. Great defensively, though, for him. He did a great job, moved his feet, stayed in front, walled up, and Brown just makes a play. I mean, he made a play.
Already a double-double today, 11 points, 11 boards. Rebound here for Williams off a small miss. Up ahead to Brown, inside, and fouled. by Asbury. And he'll make Brown earn his points at the free throw line. 2 minutes gone by, and the Cajuns on top by 2.
Yeah, and the Cajuns have come out, and again, they are getting out in transition. You notice how many times you see the big, whether it's Brown or whether it's Gay, sprinting down the middle of the floor from rim to rim, and they're getting rewarded. The guards are getting them the basketball, and this possession, Brown got himself to the free throw line.
Poor foul shooting so far by Louisiana, now 3 of 8. This has not been a good free throw shooting team this year. 10th in the 12-team Sun Belt coming in.
You see this in this free throw sequence, Coach CJ took out the 2 bigs and put in 2 new ones in Caesar and in Morgan. They've got to get back down the floor and be able to defend and not give up the easy buckets.
1 of 2 for Brown. 3-point Cajun lead. 18 to go here in the second half. Ball kicked by Julian. And the Bobcats will inbound it with 20 back in the shot clock.
Yeah, I mean, you look out there when you're watching this game. We're at floor level, Brandon and I are, and the size and the length of the Cajuns is very intimidating. I mean, you have the 2 point guards there, but the rest of the guys out there, they have some real length, and again, it's caused a little bit of issue for Texas State to get good looks at the bucket.
Asbury back into Caesar. Eyes in the back of his head. He'd already dedicated his jump by the time he got the pass off. Able to connect to Caesar. Cuts the lead down to 1. Wesley, Julien. Kind of lofted into Brown and is called for the offensive foul.
And again, Texas State does a great job on defensive rotations. Again, Tyrell Morgan came across from one lane line to the other, got set, and drew the charge. And again, that's just great team defense by the Bobcats.
First personal foul on Julien, the Louisiana native. Terrence Johnson on the sidelines for Texas State. His team lost 3 or 4 to Louisiana a year ago. This is the first of 2 meetings this season. Caesar inside, great move. Couldn't get the lay-in.
I like the way he attacked the basket, though. He wasn't shy. He didn't shy away from the contact. Again, got to get it above the rim for it to be able to fall in.
Wesley on the reverse. Battling for his own. Cancel each other out in terms of free throws. All the alternating possession. Cajuns get it. We play on. And with that, Williams Jr. catch and shoot 3, pops in. After all that, the Cajuns right away attack and take a 4-point lead.
Yeah, really nice shot by Williams Jr. Again, transfer from St. John's, and he's between him and Jordan Brown, they have really led the offensive juggernaut for the Raging Cajuns.
Offensive interference on Nigel Caesar. I think that ball was coming out, but it was still just too close to the rim. And with that, a defensive stop for Louisiana, trying to build upon a 4-point lead. Bobcats just 2 points to start the second half. Shot inside by Wesley, well defended. Bobcats the other way.
And again, the big pushback on offense by Texas State, but the Raging Cajuns are doing a nice job of getting back and getting set. But unfortunately, they got a mismatch when they got set. And you have Wesley against Caesar, which that's not a good matchup.
Yeah, Bobcats caught them in a switch, and Wesley wisely held Caesar to get the foul call. Stops the clock, 16:04 to go as Kentrell Garnett will check in for Wesley.
That's his 3rd foul. Wesley's going to have to sit for a bit. You know, we're at 16 minutes left, and they got to be a little bit cautious with him.
Harrell will trigger it into Tyrell Morgan. 4 minutes gone by. Second half, 4-point Cajun lead. Trying to salvage a game on this Texas road trip. Bobcats playing for a homestand sweep. Ball deflected, saved by Drennan into Caesar. Good move. Good defense from behind by Joe Charles.
And he's definitely, his game has improved in a lot of facets this year.
Actually leads the Bobcats in assists today, believe it or not, with 3. Splits to 2 free throws. It's a 3-point Cajun lead. A little more than 4 minutes gone by here in a testy second half. Saw double technicals assessed not long ago to Mason Harrell and Duguay. Williams Jr. on the take, the miss. And Harrell has the rebound for Texas State.
A little bit of a loose ball there. Nigel Caesar mistimed his jump, but Harrell was there to clean it up.
Bobcats 1 of 7 shooting in the second half. Julian is the ball tied up right in front of the Bobcat bench, and the ball will go back to the Cajuns on the alternating possession.
Yeah, Texas State has really struggled in this second half on the offensive end. And it's, again, they've not, the shots, they've gotten some good looks, they just haven't been able to finish it.
Now, Terrence Johnson's confused, and admittedly so am I here.
That they got the ball in the alternating possession a minute ago.
On the double technicals,
yeah.
But the arrow didn't change.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we play on 38-35, Louisiana on top, approaching the 15-minute mark of the second half. Cajuns playing for the 3rd straight win in this building.
And that happens sometimes. Great finish there. Nice drive and finish by the Cajuns.
Joe Charles, the basket, 6'7", true freshman. Louisiana back in front by 5. This their largest lead of the game. The Bobcats have led by as many as 7.
What I was saying about that, when you have those type of altercations and stuff and you flip, give the possession like they did, a lot of times the table is not aware of it and do not change the arrow. And that's, I think, what happened to the Bobcats there.
The ball was deflected, but now the officials will rule it is an over and back. So one official was willing to let that go. The other one saying that the ball wasn't touched by Louisiana. As a result, 13th turnover for Terrence Johnson's team.
Yeah, again, the Bobcats have got to clean some things up on the offense. They've got to find some ways to get some better looks. And again, I think the credit has to go to Louisiana. They've come out this second half and have really got down and gotten a stance and defended well against the Bobcats.
Again, the Cajuns playing without Theo Akuba today, but playing very well. Remember, this team was down a number of players, multiple, in their first 2 conference games on the road, won them both. Foul away for the basketball called against Texas State. 2nd team foul of the half, make it the 3rd. Now against the Bobcats.
And that's one of the things that Louisiana is built for a deep run in a conference tournament or NCAA tournament, because they have a lot of depth. Coach Marlin will play 10-11 deep, game in, game out, and so you've got guys you can sort of plug and play. If they're not available, they have someone else that's used to playing minutes. Drive
inside, tough shot there by Williams. Martin defending, but a foul called against Texas State, and they'll get it against Nate Martin. Doesn't look happy with that call. Martin, the sophomore out of Side Creek High School. And that will put Greg Williams Jr. at the free throw line.
And he does a really good job, Greg Williams Jr., really good job off the bounce. He can really score, get to the rim. You know, he was a 4-star recruit out of high school. He's one I would label uber athletic. He can really get by folks on the drive. And definitely a great pickup for Coach Marlin, being able to get him from St. John's University.
And he wasn't just a guy for the Red Storm and St. John's. He played in over 80 games for St. John's. He does hail from Lafayette, so back home playing for the Cajuns. And has put Louisiana on top by 7. Harrell's got it. Now Isaiah Smalls had kind of a tough day. Asbury fakes a 3, draws a foul against the aforementioned Williams with under 14 to go.
Yeah, really good job by Texas State using shot fakes, getting the Cajuns up in the air. You see that happening right there with Caleb Asbury. It looked like Small when he drove down the lane line. Actually had a pretty good look at the bucket. Isaiah needs to be a little more offensive-minded today to help the Bobcats on the scoring end.
Bobcats second half so far, 1 of 8 shooting, 3 turnovers. Martin can't bust the slump. Duguay has the rebound. Williams Jr., the crossover dribble. The step back, got it. How about the handles there from Greg Williams Jr., and Louisiana has built a 9-point lead.
Big time shot there from Williams Jr. Adams has done a great job defensively on him, but he just went up and made a play.
Bobcats, a scoring drought of more than 2 minutes. Harrell, the 3, pops out. Gay, another rebound. Texas State's offense struggling mightily today after putting up 80 on Thursday. Julian, another 3, another hit.
minutes left in the game. He's really stroking it from the three-point line tonight.
Again, what a special story. Kobe Julian, knee injuries plaguing him over his first 2 years at Louisiana, final year of high school, tonsillitis earlier this year, and has been one of the better players in the conference over the past 2 weeks. Asbury right to the cup and lays it in. Out of the timeout call by Terrence Johnson. That's what he wanted to see.
Really good move there by Asbury, waiting to use the shot fake to get the defender up and to get to the rim.
Duguay pulls up and knocks it down. Bobcat sagged off of Duguay, so he said, all right, I'll take it.
Take what the defense is giving you. Right now, Texas State has got to find a way to get some stops. We've talked before about that. Louisiana's defensive intensity's picked up. Texas State's shooting almost 10% the second half. But on the flip side, Texas State has got to, that's what they hang their hat on. They've got to get down and guard and get Louisiana off this roll.
Cajun 6 of 10 shooting in the second half. Bobcats 2 of 11. Here's Asbury. Asbury so far has 8. 8 minutes gone by. Louisiana on top by 12. A lot of dribbling here by Asbury. Adams cross-court pass. Corner 3. Down the hatch for Shelby Adams. Good find by Caleb Asbury.
Yeah, great find by Asbury. And again, I've been impressed with Asbury. He's not just a shooter. We talked about it earlier. He's been cleaning the boards, and his assist numbers have been off the charts this year. Really doing a good job having a total game.
Foul called against Nigel Caesar, team's 5th. Caesar with his 3rd. And a timeout on the floor. Louisiana, some separation here, leading by 9 over the Bobcats, under 12 to go. From Strain Arena, we're back after this. We talked about this at the outset of the broadcast. These are 2 of the top programs in the Sun Belt. You look at the last 4 regular season champions, and 2 of them playing each other here today. The Bobcats, of course, won it a year ago. Louisiana 4 years ago, back in 2018. Then a 27-win season, and both factor in, or looking to be factors in the championship race this year. Quick foul out of the timeout called against Nigel Caesar. That's his 4th. Caesar's had a history of foul trouble. He's going to have to come out.
Yeah, he did. And again, Nigel's got to be smart. He's got to understand that he can't go in. Again, he's got 3 fouls and just bulldoze Brown and not expect to get a foul called.
Here is Brown going to work inside and shuffles his feet. And for the Cajuns, turnover number 16 for Louisiana. Bobcats have trailed by 12, a chance to cut into that even further here.
And I really like Coach TJ when Nigel Caesar came off the floor, knowing he's frustrated, just spent a lot of time right there with him in the middle of a game, talking to him about, getting him back, his head back on right, because he's going to need him down the stretch here.
Asbury behind the back, step back jumper. Pretty looking shot there. Caleb Asbury, he has 10, and the 12-point lead is down to 7.
Yeah, Asbury's a special player. He's an all-league selection, well-deserved in there. You've got to pick the pocket. And then give him a nice dunk.
On the finish, behind the back, Caleb Asbury. A one-man show right now. Lead slides down to 5. Williams to Julian, open corner 3. A rare miss. Brown the putback. Kind roll and a foul on top of it. On the floor, called against Texas State, and the basket counts.
Well, it looks like Isaiah Small on a foul, blocking out under the bucket. Unfortunate for Isaiah. He's really got to step up.
Again, Caleb Asbury, though, trying to get the Bobcats back into the game. The pickpocket of Williams, and then a little showmanship. The reverse throwdown from Asbury. But Louisiana maybe a 3-point possession here.
Yeah, and you've got to give credit to Duguay. He's got 8 rebounds tonight. He's been a beast inside to deal with for the Bobcats.
Did they wave off the basket? Because the 2 points just got taken off. And that was a 1-and-1, so the basket didn't count. How about that?
Looks like Texas State may have dodged a bullet on that call.
So 5-point Cajun lead, 10.5 left. Harrell trapped. Alice Asbury hits a three for the top. Caleb Asbury heating up. Lead down to 2. Bobcats with a 10-0 run. Score the other nights. 5 points so far this afternoon. 2-point Cajun lead halfway through the second half. Williams Jr. harassed by Asbury. Lost his balance, gathers it back. Julian, corner three. No. Got his own rebound, but it goes off his foot. Back to Texas State. Moments ago, the Cajuns led by a dozen. And now in this possession, the Bobcats can tie or take the lead.
Yeah, again, Texas State, I want to say Texas State got locked in, but Caleb Asbury got locked in and hit 3 big buckets in a row for the Bobcats to sort of get them out of that slump. They've got to find some more folks, though, to be involved. You can't only rest on number 5's shoulders.
The Bobcats have not led in this half. Small. Whistle. And the 17th foul coming up against Louisiana will lead to the 1-and-1. This against Trajan Wesley, and that's his 4th.
And again, both teams now are sitting in the 1-and-1, so any miscue on the defensive end, any type of, again, you hate those fouls, hand checks, things, 25 feet away from the bucket is going to put the other team on the free throw line.
Correction, Kobe Julian the foul, his 3rd. Small gets one more.
One thing that does favor the Bobcats is the Bobcats are the top shooting free throw team in the league. That is not a strength of Louisiana.
76% for the season for Texas State. Small for the year, 71%. And we are tied at 49. 12-0 run for the Bobcats.
And again, we knew this was going to be a dogfight all game long. Both these teams are, again, coached well, have phenomenal players, and again, it's going to probably come down to that last tick.
Brown hands off to Wesley. Garnett back into Brown in the post, trying to throw it down. And then a late whistle. It's called against Nate Martin. For Martin, his 3rd. Terrence Johnson in disbelief.
Yeah, it was a very late foul call on Martin. And again, I didn't get a good look at it from where I'm sitting here to see what Martin did to draw the foul. I can tell you, though, that Brown has been vicious on the boards. Yeah, he did. He hit him on the head. Good call by the official. But, right now Brown's got a double-double going. He's pulled down 14 boards, has 13 points, and he's tough to deal with.
Quite the journey for Brown. Now playing for his dad's alma mater, starting his career at Nevada, then Arizona, now in Lafayette, playing for Louisiana. Very good all 3 stops. Makes both free throws. 2-point Cajun lead. Coming up on 9 minutes to go. Asbury fakes a 3, takes a 3, misses a 3. Adams the rebound, ties the game at 51.
Great job by Shelby Adams crashing the glass. And again, Adams is a guy he'll have stats all over the sheet, nothing necessarily over the top, but he's the kind of guy that helps you win ball games.
Wesley. Now down court, back to Wesley. Trying to set up the offense off the screen from Brown. Julian, the drive to the cup, too strong. And the Bobcats can play for their first lead of the second half.
Really good rebound there by Isaiah Small. And again, tough shot there. They're going to get the foul on Brown against Mason Harrell.
And I think that was on the way down, because it looked like Brown blocked the shot cleanly, but maybe on the way down, his handing it a little bit of the arm against Mason Harrell.
Yeah, again, from this viewpoint, I was the same as you, Brent. He cleared the screens, and up top it was clean, but I couldn't see from behind that double stagger he came off of where the contact lied.
I wonder if Brown perhaps didn't give Harrell enough room to land after landing back from the jump shot. But regardless, Harrell was just given the Bobcats their first lead since late in the first half. It's a 2-point lead now, since it was 49-37. Texas State on a 16-2 run.
And again, a little bit, Mason Harrell sneaking up there and make it a little bit challenging for the Raging Cajuns to get the ball in. And again, now it's like both teams have got to guard. You know, if they want to win this game, it's going to be on this defensive end. And again, that's way too easy for the Raging Cajuns, giving them Wesley an easy layup at the rim.
Nice take by Trajan Wesley. Wesley's first basket today, had 13 against the Mavericks on Thursday. Tied again. 9 ties, 7 lead changes this afternoon.
And again, looks like Harrell picked up his dribble. Fortunately, he was able to have a pressure relief there with Adams.
Shot clock to 5. Harrell throws that away. Taken away by Julian. Not a good possession for Texas State. But good defense by the Raging Cajuns. Trying to reclaim the lead. Wesley on the take again, and it counts. Trajan Wesley, the native Texan, has put the Cajuns back in front, 55-53, and a chance for a three-point play when we return. Timeout on the floor. St. Marcus, Cajuns on top by 2. We talked about Jordan Brown earlier, his journey to Lafayette, a first-year transfer to the Cajuns this year from Arizona, where he was a season ago named as the Pac-12 Conference's Sixth Man of the Year last year in Tucson, Arizona. That was his second collegiate stop. Then transfers to Louisiana, playing very well in his first year as a Cajun, but being a Cajun in his blood. His dad, Dion Brown, was named to the Louisiana Hall of Fame back in 2017, a part of championship teams in the Southland Conference for then Southwest Louisiana back in the late 1970s. And today a double-double, 14 points, 14 rebounds for Brown, has helped give the Cajuns a 3-point lead with 7:25 to go.
Yeah, again, a great player, and again, it's nice to have legacy-type players in your program. You know, the Bobcats next year will have that same thing with recruit they signed, David Sykes' son, coming to play here in San Marcos.
Asbury can't tie the game, and Brown has his 15th rebound. Cajuns get a stop. Momentum had shifted to the Bobcats' favor, but Louisiana a 3-point lead and possession, 7 minutes to go. Two key players for the Bobcats, their post players. Nigel Caesar was defending Brown and Nate Martin, 4 fouls each. Defends Brown well there. Bobcats get a stop. Asbury, the drive and the throwdown. Caleb Asbury rocks the rim, cuts the lead down to 1.
Unbelievable baseline drive, almost over Brown was that slam dunk.
Brown the answer, two-hand flush. Louisiana back in front by 3.
Man, both teams are just getting aggressive at the rim. Both teams need to play a little better defense.
And remember, rim protection a bit of an issue right now. Bobcats top 2 big players, or bigs, 4 fouls each. Cajuns no Theo Akuba. They have adjusted well without him today after struggling to get stops on Thursday in Arlington. This is a 1-and-1. And both teams from here on out will be in the double bonus.
And again, some of this is going to come down to both teams have to play intelligent on the defensive end. They can't, you know, get fouls like the one that just happened where you're, you know, at the 3-point line, not threat of scoring and giving free throw opportunities.
1 of 2 for Asbury. 2-point game coming up on 6 to go. Brown on the baseline, picked up by Small. A lot of weight on him, and scores.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a planned switch to put Small on Brown or if it just happened in the transition defense, Caesar has been assigned typically to be guarding Brown.
Jordan Brown is a good 55 pounds on Isaiah Small. Asbury stays scorching hot. What a second half for Asbury. He has 20.
He's feeling it right now, and Texas State doesn't have a lot of other options at this point that have been fluidly scoring on the offensive end.
Three-pointer no by Garnett. Asbury has the rebound. 14 points in the second half for Caleb Asbury. He's not only scorching hot, Suzanne, he is
Sriracha hot.
There it is.
I knew you were waiting for that, Brant.
Coming up on 5 to go. Asbury gets it back. No clear out for him here. Shot clock to 10. Caesar in the post. Caesar ties the game around Jordan Brown.
And that's one of the things with Caesar. Again, a little more physical. He can finish around the rim, maybe just a smidge better than Nate Martin. And again, as much as he can be out there, the Bobcats will be on the benefiting end of that.
After icy cold start to the half from the floor, the Bobcats have made 9 of their last 13 shots. But now they are in the double bonus is Louisiana. Bobcats into the penalty. 2 free throws for Louisiana. And that's Asbury the foul. That is his 4th. So you have your most prolific scorer in deep foul trouble and your 2 interior defenders in foul trouble for Terrence Johnson. That spells trouble.
Yeah, it's again, you still got 4:40 left in the ball game, but you know, as you said, Asbury's sort of been carrying the Bobcat offense on his shoulders the last 5 minutes of this game. And then, again, both your bigs in foul trouble. They've got to be cautious, but they've still got to be aggressive if they want to have a chance to be there at the end.
One more for Trajan Wesley. He's had some big moments down the stretch here in the second half. Looking to put the Cajuns on top by 2. He is their best foul shooter. 76% on the year. And knocks them both down.
And you notice Asbury's gone to the bench for the Bobcats. And Drew Drennan is back in with Mason Harrell. So someone's going to have to pick up the offensive scoring duties among this group. I
would imagine that the under 4 timeout, Asbury's back into the game. Can't stay on there long.
I agree, Brant. He's got to stay out there because, again, right now they've struggled to find ways to score.
Backdoor cut, Adams. Out of bounds and back to Louisiana. Bobcats arguing there was a touch by Kobe Julian, and the officials overruled. Well, look at Julian, he can't believe it.
Yeah, and again, the players, the official here, the C official made the call, and he had the best view of it to see if there was a touch or not.
Shot clock at 11, game clock 4:20, 2-point Cajun lead, inbound to Small. Bobcats go to work down 2. Harrell, Small, a 3, short. Julian, the rebound for the Cajuns.
Again, not a bad offensive possession out of that inbounds for Texas State, but just wouldn't fall for Isaiah Small. Now again, both teams have to get down and guard in the half courts. They've got to make it really tough.
Shot clock to 10. Julian against Harrell. Post up Brown. Backs down Caesar, spins. And a violation.
Low, not get some kind of crazy foul. And hopefully he can go the distance here this last 3:38 for Texas State.
Harrell brings it up. 3.5 left, 2-point lead, Louisiana. Asbury against Williams. Now Small, right to the rack, flips it up and draws a foul. Another kind of late foul call there. That's Jordan Brown. Now he's not in foul trouble, would be only his 2nd.
It looked like Isaiah Small got hit in the head, and that was where I was a little bit of a tap on the head there. And anytime there's contact to the head, there definitely should be a foul called.
Small for the line today, 2 of 2, 7 points. Just 2 of 9 shooting after a good night against ULM Thursday. One more to tie the game.
And it's been challenging, I know, this year for Isaiah Small because Bobcat fans that have watched him last year, he had such a great year from the three-point line, and this year that has been a struggle for him. He hasn't quite gotten on track yet.
For the 11th time today, we are tied.
Did you say 11 times, Grant?
11th. 9 lead changes. Neither team giving an inch. Oh, Asbury almost called for his 5th. Bobcats caught a break. Gay into Julian against Caesar. Won't get the roll. Caesar the rebound, saved by Asbury. Coming up on 3 to go.
Yeah, Asbury got a gift that last possession. Again, he could have easily been called for that in the open court. He has to be more cautious than that. And again, I like Texas State right now. They're moving the basketball from side to side, getting some movement, which we didn't have for an extended period of time.
Shot clock down to 5. Harrell's got to hurry here. Harrell puts it up. Way off. Another well-defended possession by Louisiana. 30-second shot clock violation. Texas State's 13th turnover. Cajuns again the chance to reclaim the lead.
Yeah, I always enjoyed these type of games as a coach. I say that now sitting on the other side here. Basically you've got a 2-minute and 37-second ball game. That's it. So it's 0-0 right now. You got your guys with the mentality, it's one possession at a time.
2 games in league play have already gone to overtime today. Could we be headed for a 3rd? Julian, no. Asbury the long rebound. He's fouled. 93 feet away from the basket. Ill-advised foul there by the Cajuns, and that will put Asbury to the free throw line.
Yeah, Duguay tried to reach around, and again, just not a smart foul at this stage of the ball game. You definitely, Asbury had control of the basketball. You could have trapped him over there, but when you reach around him like that, it's definitely going to put him on the line, and that's not a good situation for the Raging Cajuns.
That's a 4th on Duguay. First Cajun with 4 fouls now. Asbury with the crowd coming to a hush. Puts Texas State in front by 1. So Duguay checks out. Kentrell Garnett is back in.
And again, going with a little bit smaller lineup now for the offensive end down here with just the one big in Brown and then a bunch of shooters out there.
2 big free throws for Asbury. Gay watching for the bench. 22 for Asbury. 2-point Bobcat lead coming up with 2 minutes to go.
You see Texas State is sort of flipping the script here, going a little bit of zone, seeing if they can get something. And they do. They get a turnover, goes off the foot.
Inbound to Harrell. 2 minutes to go. 2-point Texas State lead. Once down by a dozen in this half.
And again, Duguay's came back in the lineup for the Cajuns. Again, getting some more bodies in there.
Oh, Nigel Caesar!
Unbelievable pass by Shelby Adams and a great finish by Caesar.
4-point lead. Wesley, big bucket for the Cajuns. The answer with 90 seconds to go.
And again, Texas State has got to dig in a little deeper on the defensive end and not giving those type of easy shots to the Cajuns.
These two down to the wire a year ago. A game won by Louisiana. Bobcats trying to avenge that. Sweep this 2-game homestand. A slim 2-point lead coming up in the final minute. Asbury to Adams in the lane. Got it! Cold-blooded timeout by Terrence Johnson takes the Bobcats down to 2 remaining. Louisiana with possession, needing a score to make it a 1-possession game.
You see Texas State is staying in this zone defense. A big 3-shot, great rebound by Adams. And now you're going to see if they can take the air to the ball if the Bobcats can.
Oh, Harrell off his foot, taken away by Wesley.
Big defensive play by Wesley.
Remember, it was a turnover for the Bobcats a season ago that cost them this game. 2-point lead, 5-second difference. We'll see when the Cajuns, if they opt to foul here. They do. They foul Adams with 26 seconds to go. Adams has been a very good free throw shooter this season. Years past, not a very good foul shooter. Has corrected that this year. And 2 massive free throws coming up here for the senior out of Converse.
Got a one possession game still, so this will be the big one right here for Adams. And going to get a timeout, I believe, by Coach Marlin.
Oh, by Texas State.
By Texas State.
And no, this is not a case of Terrence Johnson trying to ice his own shooter. This is talking about situations here. If Shelby Adams misses, what are you doing? Are you fouling up 3? Or is it somebody you're trying to force the ball out of the hands of? You want to funnel the ball to the lane and just give away an easy 2? If he makes a second free throw shot to put him up 4, what do you do then? Yeah. That's what this timeout's about from Terrence Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Brant, you sound like you've been a coach before. Or maybe you just know about basketball.
Versions of NBA Live.
Okay.
And NBA 2K, yes.
Yeah. And again, this is such a good game. And again, both of these coaches do a great job with their programs. I know Coach Marlin up there is dialing up something special, make or miss by Shelby Adams for the Cajuns.
Bob Marlin, veteran coach, 12th season at Louisiana, coming up on 3 decades as a coach, a long tenure at Sam Houston State prior, was the Southland Conference Coach of the Decade in the 2000s, and has done a lot of great things in Lafayette. Adams makes it a 2-possession game. Cajuns can't use too much time here.
Yeah, great job by Adams, super senior, getting that 2 critical free throws for the Cats.
Wesley. Into Williams, throws it down. 15.9 left. Into Asbury, very similar play to what we saw a year ago. Asbury to Small. Coach is asking for a foul. Hasn't come yet, now it does. With about 6 seconds to go. Bobcats almost caught with a 10-second call in the backcourt. Louisiana's coaching staff was pleading for a foul against Isaiah Small, a 71% free throw shooter compared to Harrell, who shoots close to 90.
Yeah, and again, Mason Harrell, a couple big free throw opportunities right now for him to seal this game up for the Bobcats.
Harrell, 5 of 7 from the line, 15 points. Bobcats have hit that magic number of 70. And perhaps I think what they're looking here is the time on the clock. That's why the officials have stopped play between free throws. They're making sure the time is correct. But you saw the magic number for the Bobcats. They've hit that number of 70, unbeaten this year when they hit that watermark so good over the years, due in part because defensively they've been so good.
You know, it's one of those things you see Coach Marlin asking for that review of the clock. In essence, what does that do for both teams, Brant?
A free timeout.
Gets them a free timeout, yeah. So these guys, both coaches are working within the rules to try to find, and you know, we've got a special guest, Will Farrell, here tonight.
That's Ron
arena.
Burgundy. Who's Will Farrell?
Oh, sorry, Ron Burgundy. My bad. And again, big free throw here for Mason Harrell. This could seal it up. If not, the Cajuns are still ready to go.
They dropped Ron Burgundy. That's not staying classy, San Diego. And they do add a second to the clock. So Bob Marlin, even though maybe he was trying to get a free timeout out of it, had a good reason to argue. Did appear some more time ran off after the whistle blew. So Harrell for an all-important 2-possession lead here. Cajuns out of timeouts. Down 4. Wesley. Got to put it up. Turnover in the corner by Williams, and that's going to do it.
And again, 2 seconds left. Coach TJ giving some instructions from the sidelines. And again, they just need to get the basketball inbounds. Texas State does to secure this victory tonight.
So there will be no drama on the game's final play this year. The Bobcats have officially avenged last year's